Uh, I want to say something in English this time around. If you want to learn Italian, uh, you should, as soon as possible, win from English when you learn Italian. All these videos I see on YouTube where Italians who are more or less fluent in English, they try to capitalize on that and teach Italian using English. That's more for their ego than for your real learning. The amount of English should be minimized, should be as little as possible, and mistrust and distrust people who speak a lot of English when they're teaching you Italian. I don't think that's the way to go. I tend not to speak English because basically I already know English. I do not need to show off my English. I don't need to boast. I don't think that learning a language is a way of being cool or showing other people how good you are, but that's the way I see it. So why I dislike linguists or polyglots. So when you do everything in Italian, it's good. Basically because you are exposed to Italian, but you need a teacher who can teach you Italian in a good way, because if he or she that is not able to use the language according to your level, I cannot teach you a very simple thing in Italian using difficult language. It doesn't make sense. So in order to do this, you need to have good teachers who know the target language, the target what you're basically teaching, and knowing that if a person is learning that, it's very likely that he already knows that, and maybe he doesn't know other words. So you should use a language according to the level you're teaching. So when you have all these Italians who have no idea of how to go about teaching a foreign language, they have no linguistic or language background, they haven't basically read books, seen things on a higher level concerning languages. The only thing they can do is explain the morphology. It means I go, you go, she goes, all these things, the way word change because in Italian we have more morphology than in English, and basically using your part of the brain, the left side brain, using only knowledge. So you know the language, you know it is like this, and I said several times, language basically is not knowing something, like I have to in words, but having in yourself, I call it software, the immediate instinct that makes you use that. So many times you can acquire this more being exposed of a lot of meaningful language, a language that you can make sense and infer the rule. But it takes a little bit of preparing the lesson in order to do that. It needs experience, and basically these people have no experience. So why on earth you should spend 10 minutes listening to English that is at least shaky, whilst You can do the same thing reading a book. It would take a fourth of the time, and the only part that can be better is because you hear the actual pronunciation by an Italian, and most of the times is also I hear they don't have the real tone that people have when they speak, meaning the thing. I mean, if I say io vado, tu vai, egli va, basically people don't speak like this because they use in a whole sentence, and according to what they really mean, it would sound different. For example, oh, oggi vado alla stazione. Io vado sempre alla stazione. Dove vai? Tu vai sempre lì? So, if it's interrogative, it's a question, it has a different intonation. So basically, the language becomes a little bit not real, like, as I said, knowledge, dry knowledge, and you should make it as alive as it is possible. And so basically I would say sometimes it's better to read a book. Make sure you can have access to the audio part of the book, and do not read a lot without the listening to the language. If you don't have it, when it comes to short phrases, I know it sounds a contradiction with what I've already said, but if you use Google Translator with a sound in short sentences, you can have the way they pronounce is not really bad when you are a beginner or intermediate then. So try to listen to that. If you can record, make yourself something you can hear on your MP3, on your reader pod, and that's a good work. But really, don't spend 7 minutes to understand the verb to like in Italian explained in English, and sometimes these people really start convoluted explanations. Sometimes you just don't need to explain. You say mi piace il gatto, and you say that I am the person who proved that's the feeling. So basically, if you say that mi piace il gatto is like the cat pleases me, it means that pleases me means that makes me like it. So the person that is liked is the subject, the verb, and the person that proves the feeling is the person we say to or me at the beginning. So it's more like this in a long explanation. The person that is liked is the subject, then there's the verb to liked, and the person who proves that feeling is the person that needs to. If it's a beginning of the sentence, you don't use to. So mi piace il gatto. Ok, il gatto mi piace. Il gatto piace a me. Well, that's the way I see it. I am prepared. I could do better. I know. But and I used English. Okay, I'm sorry, but this is not a lesson I've prepared. It was just something I said. So I should prepare, and I could do a better job using Italian words. Okay, that's it. So another thing, live the language. Don't feel it something strange. Something is not part of you. learn little, but learn it as is part of you. So when you say something, you shouldn't think much. It should come automatically, even obviously simple things. But do not forge ahead and memorize things that you know that they are like this, but you know it, you don't feel it, you don't have the feel of the language. It's a big mistake. You should have a feel of the language, obviously, and this is most of people learn many languages cannot have the feel of the language, because the feel of the language is not knowing, memorizing, and doing exercises. Is also listening, having been listening to this and using this for a long time or many times. That, but if you devote time to many languages, you can speak the languages, you can get understood, but they will always be something strange to you. They cannot be part of you, because you have been using this for continuously, obviously, because you have been using also that language. So I strongly recommend, you have no reason to learn another language. Try to refrain yourself from that path that becomes an obsession before it's too late.